Hello, this is Correctional Officers in the News. My name is Laurent Kuntz. Today I will critique a use of force incident that happened on November 13th of 2018 at the Broward County Jail in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, the inmate that you see in the orange jumpsuit is Nikolas Cruz. He attacks Sergeant Raymond Beltran. Now, the name Nikolas Cruz may sound familiar to you. I will take a minute and refresh everyone's memory on just who Nikolas Cruz is.
Possible shots fired at Stoneman Douglas High School.
19-year-old Nikolas Cruz seen here loading an AR-15 in the hallway of Stoneman Douglas High School as a frightened freshman walks past. The Sun-Sentinel reporting that according to that freshman, Cruz telling him, "You'd better get out of here, things are going to start getting messy." Moments later, Cruz killing 17 students and staff.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The spray of bullets set off a fire alarm, sending panicked students and teachers out of their classrooms to escape. While they tried to locate Cruz, he's seen here a few blocks from campus at this McDonald's. Finally, just under an hour later, taken into custody.
This incident that I'm going to critique now happened 9 months after Nikolas Cruz was arrested. Nikolas Cruz is walking around the housing area, and then he stops and he has words with Sergeant Beltran, and you'll see what happens now. He gives him the finger and he charges him. Now, there's no sound to this video. It's just video, it's no audio. Now they're struggling, they're fighting. Officer Beltran gets top position. And I'm going to stop it right here because I want you to see right here, Sergeant Beltran has a taser on his belt, and Nikolas Cruz is grabbing the taser. Now watch what happens next. He gets the taser out of the holster, and now they're struggling for the taser. Now you see the light come on the taser, which means that the taser is being activated and deployed. Beltran was able to get the taser away from him, and then they square up, and Beltran hits him in the head with the taser. And then he gives him orders to get down. He reloads the taser, and then he has him put his hands behind his back, and then he cuffs him with the taser. He's holding the taser on him. Now, this was a very serious, dangerous situation. Sergeant Beltran handled himself well. He should be commended. He did a great job under the circumstances. So now he cuffs him, gets him up, and he escorts him out of the housing area. The housing area door is open. Now I'm going to pause here and I'm going to let Officer Beltran explain, or Sergeant Beltran explain, what is going on with the taser at this point, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to follow up.
If you want to pause it now, at this point, he basically stopped talking. He flipped me off twice, and then he attacks. You get started. You get started. All right, if you want to stop. Right here, I'm trying to take control of him. But if you can see, his right hand is going for my taser. He also, with his left hand, tries to go for the taser also, with both hands. The way the taser is in the holster, there's a little button. If you want me to get up, I'll show you.
Illustrate how it works.
There's a little button right here. You have to press this button right here. You got to rock it back, and then you can lift it up. Okay?
So you just can't pull it straight out?
No, sir. He could actually lift my whole body.
Okay.
Once he's going for my taser, I immediately had to get my taser back. If you want to go back a little bit, he actually has my taser in his hand. I'll tell you when to stop it. He's going for it right there with his right hand. He also grabs with his left. You can see he's trying to press the button. Right there, he has the taser in his right hand. At this point, I have to get the taser back.
Why?
He could tase me, he can incapacitate me, and he can basically do whatever he wants to me. Also, if he hits me with it, it's a blunt object, he can hurt me. So, all I was thinking right there was get my taser back.
Yes, sir.
We're fighting for the taser right now. At one point, you're going to see a light, and I'll show you. Right there. You can see the light. You see where the table is? You saw the light?
Yeah.
Well, you can see the light. Basically, the taser activated, if you want to stop it. Prior to this, basically, the taser was activated. It was turned
When
on.
you say activated, what do you mean?
It was turned on. So you pull the lever up, and that's when that light comes up.
Okay.
So once it was activated, it was the only way the taser goes off is if you press the trigger.
Okay.
At this point where we're fighting for the taser, I can't tell you if I press the trigger or if Mr. Cruz pressed the trigger. But the taser deployed,
All right.
meaning that the two prongs in the front shot out.
Okay. So explain how the taser operates.
Okay, there's a cartridge in the front. When you press the trigger, two prongs come out, and they're
Are
intended
the
to
two prongs
hit.
attached to anything?
Excuse me?
The prongs attached to anything?
To the body.
Okay.
Like when they deploy, the intent is to hit one and one, and then it does the job.
Okay.
So it deployed onto the floor. So that's when you see that light.
So, stop for a second. So when you say deployed, the two prongs or two darts shoot out and they
Correct.
hit your target, right?
Correct. That's
And
on a
then-
normal.
Right, right. So I'm just trying to get the explanation how a taser works, or this taser works.
Correct.
So it goes out as attached to anything, wires?
They're connected to the taser.
Right,
So the wires shoot out with the
Right.
two prongs.
Right.
It connects to your target,
right.
and then it does what it's supposed to do.
Okay, and when you pull the trigger, what happens?
It cycles for 5 seconds.
Okay,
While you have, on this particular taser, while you're pressing the trigger, it'll cycle for 5 seconds and it'll stop.
so electric charge goes out to incapacitate the person, correct?
Correct. For 5 seconds.
All right,
Then, if you want to continue another 5-second cycle, you're supposed to press the trigger again.
okay. And you can press the trigger continually and,
After, yes, sir.
so 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. 5
Correct.
seconds. Okay.
Now, as you heard, Sergeant Beltran is very articulate, very intelligent, very capable. But the fact that he has the taser increases the danger for him. Okay. Now, I know that things are different now because there's a shortage of correction officers. So you have to do things that weren't done years ago. Years ago, you wouldn't have a weapon inside the jail for this reason, because an inmate can get the weapon away from you and use it against you. I didn't know they were giving officers tasers to work inside housing areas, but in this case, the sergeant has a taser. It probably would be better for him not to have the taser, just to go hand to hand with Cruz until help arrive. I want to let you guys know that Nikolas Cruz was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole last year. He could have gotten a death penalty. In Florida, they do have the death penalty, but you have to have a unanimous jury to give him the death penalty. In this case, 3 out of the 12 jurors voted not to give him the death penalty for whatever reason. So therefore, the judge imposed the sentence of life without the possibility of parole. So if you are interested in correction, if you're a correction officer, or if you want to be a correction officer, or if you're just curious about the world of correction. I advise this book. I wrote this book. The name of this book is Correction Officer's Guide to Understanding Inmates, the 44 Keys to Power, Control, and Respect. It took me 3 years to write this book. I had to give back. All the things that I was taught during the course of my career, I did my best to put them in this book so I can pass on the information to other officers so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. For some reason, there's not a lot of literature on correction officers. There's a lot of literature on jail and prison written by inmates, but as far as books written by correction officers for correction officers or showing the officer's perspective or the officer's way of doing things, there's not many books that do that, and that's why I wanted to write this book. I had to write this book. This is my contribution to correction. There's a lot that goes with becoming a correction officer and a law enforcement officer in general, and I just wanted to do my part to try to help officers cope. So I'm going to leave a link to it, read some of the reviews, check it out, and as always, until next time, peace and stay safe.